It was the height of summer, and the land lay parched under a relentless sun. The rivers had shrunk to thin ribbons, puddles had turned to dust, and the leaves on the trees curled in on themselves like hands in prayer. Not a drop of rain had fallen for many days, and all the birds and animals of the forest were suffering from thirst. Among them was a lone black crow who had flown far and wide in search of water. His wings were heavy with exhaustion, and his throat was dry and aching. He croaked weakly as he flew over dry fields, hoping to find even the smallest stream or dewdrop to quench his thirst. At last, just as he was about to give up, the crow spotted something glinting in the sunlight beside an abandoned farmhouse. Curious and desperate, he swooped down to investigate. There, in the shade of a crumbling stone wall, stood a tall clay pitcher. The crow landed on its rim and looked inside. To his great relief, there was a small pool of water at the bottom. But joy quickly turned to despair. The pitcher was deep, its neck narrow, and the water lay far beyond the reach of his beak. The crow tried tipping the pitcher, but it was too heavy and stable. He tried dipping his head, stretching as far as he could, but it was no use. He fluttered around in frustration, his thirst growing worse by the moment. "I didn't come all this way just to fail now," the crow muttered to himself, pacing around the pitcher. "There must be a way." Then a thought struck him. He looked around the ground and noticed it was littered with small, round pebbles, left by the wind, the rain, or perhaps children who once played nearby. An idea began to form in the crow's sharp mind. Without wasting another moment, he picked up a pebble in his beak and dropped it into the pitcher. Plop! He watched as the pebble sank and the water rose, just a little. Encouraged, he dropped in another. Plink! And another. Plop! With each stone, the water climbed higher. Hours passed and the sun dipped lower in the sky. The crow worked tirelessly, pebble after pebble, never stopping to rest. Sweat and dust clung to his feathers, but he didn't give up. Finally, after dropping one more pebble into the pitcher, the surface of the water shimmered just below the rim. With a joyful caw, the crow dipped his beak and drank deeply, the cool water soothing his throat and renewing his strength. He looked up at the sky, now streaked with orange and gold, and smiled to himself. Not with pride, but with gratitude. He had survived. Not because he was the strongest or the fastest, but because he had used his mind. Moral: in difficult times, clever thinking and patience can accomplish what strength alone cannot.